We are here on the grid, ready to go for the Better Half Dash here, the 2024 edition. We had qualifying earlier today, and what a show it was. Great field of cars, and we had a great fun with the qualifying. Quick time, Ariana Jensik. Ariana, looks like you have a really fast race car. Just tell me what you learned here. Tell me what you found out about this racetrack.
So this is actually my first time with it being all cut in the back there, so I was a little lost for the first couple of laps, but we figured it out. Parker was very good on his spotting and telling me what I was doing wrong and what I could do better, so props to him. But I feel like we have a good kart for tonight. I'm really excited to see what we can do.
Parker Retzloff, of course, is your spotter and did an extraordinary job, that is for sure. Now, this is road racing. You are a racer, you run, but you go fast and turn left all the time. You're a regular, you race, you and your family race up at Stafford in Connecticut. Is that accurate? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm actually taking a flight up there tomorrow. I'm going to race Friday night. Me and my two brothers, we race in the limited late model division, and then I'm also racing next Friday. So I'm racing a part-time schedule as well as following Parker in his Xfinity schedule this year.
Well, it's exciting stuff. Congratulations on winning the pole position, and we wish you well as we go here tonight for the Better Half Dash.
Thank you.
There we go. That is Ariana Jensik. She is the quick time driver. She will lead us to green here right after 6:30 when we get started here this evening. When we get started here this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 11th Annual Motor Racing Outreach Better Half Dash, presented by Speedway Motorsports. A beautiful day here in North Carolina at Trackhouse Motorplex, and we are set with 12 very fast ladies, the Better Halves. We know a lot of these race car drivers that we see on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on TV, but these are the unsung heroes, the girlfriends, the significant others, the wives of some of the fastest race car drivers in stock car auto racing. I'm Matthew Dillner, your host here for the Better Half Dash, and I'm joined alongside by my buddy Anthony Alfredo, race car driver extraordinaire, and your wife, helps out here with the event and is such a big part of it. We're glad to have you as a part of it, representing Better Half Dash and Motor Racing Outreach. How pumped are you, buddy?
Oh, we're super pumped. Obviously, it's a privilege to be here and sit alongside you here in the booth. or on the roof rather.
We've got the roof booth.
This is old school. This is sick.
So as you see on the monitor right now, we've got all the families. There's photographers galore all over the place. And all the families are down there. The starting grid is down there. We're going to give you the starting lineup in a little bit. But of course, we've got do a big shout out to Speedway Motorsports and that group led by Marcus Smith, of course, Jessica Fickenster, for being the presenting sponsors of this great event. Synergy, Face and Body, as well as Blue Trust Sports and Entertainment, and of course the fine folks here at Trackhouse Motorplex. If you haven't been here and done their rental kart program, if you're a fan watching on YouTube, you need to get your butt down here because this is one of the finest go-kart facilities in America.
100%, and to see these ladies go to battle today is going to be a blast. Obviously, let's not count out the fact that some of them do have their own racing experience. They either currently race or have, and of course, a lot of them have great drivers to lean on as their significant others. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here this evening, but looking forward to it nonetheless.
Well, it's a very windy and beautiful day, as I think your notes just went flying across the roof here, but we're going to have a great time here. Of course, Motor Racing Outreach serving the NASCAR community, but also serving short track communities across this country too, and bringing the ministry of Jesus Christ to so many people, and doing so in camaraderie and friendship and true relationships. That's the great thing from my personal standpoint that I see as the great thing about Motor Racing Outreach, how they serve the families. It doesn't have to be a race car driver. Anybody in the motorsports community, and Billy Malden, the president of Motor Racing Outreach, and everybody, his whole entire family works with Motor Racing Outreach, and it's a beautiful thing. So this is a wonderful event that's been going on for 11 years now. It started at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Bandoleros during the pandemic. We switched to iRacing, and Kristen Labonte was the one that brought that Motor Racing Outreach Better Half Dash back. She's down there as well, a competitor in this event, so a big shout out to her for rebirthing this great tradition that we have here with Motor Racing Outreach. But before we do all that, I think Steve Post is down there, and he's going to be our guy, boots on the ground, on pit road, talking to the competitors, and he is joined by the top fundraiser right now. Steve Post, who you got, buddy?
I'm telling you, Matt, it is great to be here. And Taylor Nemechek was the fundraising winner. She is raising money for the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, and so she is raising for that and Motor Racing Outreach, and she's toward the front of the grid as well. So, Taylor, congratulations. And what's it mean to be part of this Better Half Dash and get to do some fine work for charity and have some fun here in the go-kart?
Yeah, it's been really fun to raise money. My mom has MS, so I'm glad to raise money for that, glad to raise money for Motor Racing Outreach, and ready to go.
Ready to go, that's for sure. Her spotter, John Hunter Nemechek. Of course, we see John Hunter with Legacy Motor Club. John Hunter, how'd she do in practice? How's your driver doing here as we get ready to go today?
She's doing good. She's really consistent. She's putting in a lot of work out here, and we're starting P3 due to all the fundraising, so thank you to everyone who donated. It goes a long ways, but hopefully she can stay up here and be in the mix at the end.
See what happens with it. John Hunter and Taylor Nemechek down here. This is a fundraiser. If you wish to participate, you can go to Motor Racing Outreach webpage. You can participate, jump on board with Motor Racing Outreach, or jump on board with one of the ladies that are racing here tonight. All of their charitable donations and organizations are documented there, and they are supporting some wonderful, wonderful causes. Matthew, getting ready to send it to you for driver introductions, but I want to salute another group of people. The fans, you here at the Trackhouse Motorplex. Great crowd is gathered here tonight, so thank you for joining us here tonight at Trackhouse Motorplex here in Mooresville. Matt, I guess it's time to introduce these drivers.
Yeah, they are, Posty, and I'll tell you what, there's a fine field of 12 young ladies down there, as well as some really cool things here. There's a car show in the front area. There will be a concert by Yellow the Band, a local band here out of Kannapolis. They are wonderful. Heard their sound check today, as well as some awesome food trucks. You got to experience some of the food trucks, Alfredo. Tell me about some of the atmosphere back there.
Oh, yeah. Well, first, those pork belly tacos got me fueled up to give some colorful commentary for this race. But those tiny donuts, don't even get me started on that donut truck. Those things are awesome. Man, I had to break out the cheat meal a little early in the week for that one. But definitely ready to go this evening. Got a great field of drivers. Obviously, you mentioned qualifying wrapped up, and Matthew's going to go through the grid here shortly. But perfect afternoon. Couldn't ask for better weather for racing here at Trackhouse Motorplex.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's give you the starting lineup for the 11th Annual Motor Racing Outreach Better Half Dash presented by Speedway Motorsports. Starting in position number 12 in the rear of the field. She had a little bit of a practice crash, but she is all healed up and ready to go in the number 33 machine. Starting in that position, her first Better Half Dash from Memphis, Tennessee, in the Pit Stops for Hope machine. Better half of Paul Swan, front tire carrier with the number 3 of Austin Dillon. The Pit Stops for Hope machine, it's Mario Swan. Starting in the 11th position will be car number 8. And there's a reason she drives car number 8. The other half, Randall Burnett, is the crew chief for RCR Racing for the number 8 of Kyle Busch. Today, this Columbia, South Carolina native, sponsored by Miller Bridge Speedway, raising money for the Motor Racing Outreach, will be starting in 11th. Give a big round of applause for Deanna Burnett. Now starting in the 10th position. Yeah, she may be the daughter of Emerson Fittipaldi, and she may be the lovely wife of Max Pappas. But today, this Sao Paulo, Brazil native is racing for a very special cause, and that is Sherry Strong. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a 3-time Better Half Dash competitor, Tati Pappas. Max Pappas wins the Brightest Shirt award. Starting in the 9th position, this driver from Fort Mill, South Carolina, now making North Carolina her home. She made her Better Half Dash debut in 2014. And today she drives with the sponsor Clutch Coffee Bar, but she races today for CFK, Congregations for Kids. Her other half, Denny Hamlin, you know him, the number 11 FedEx Toyota, but the driver today that all eyes are on is the young lady that you see on your screen, the number 11. Give a big round of applause for Jordan Fish. Starting in the 8th position, she's a mother of 3, originally hailing from Aurora, Colorado, now making her home here in the great state of North Carolina. Driving the Ivy and Olive Boutique, number 82, the other half of Luke Lambert, crew chief for Carson Hocevar. She's raising money for Motor Racing Outreach tonight. Big round of applause for Jamie Lambert. Starting in the 7th position today, she's an ACT Tour late model competitor, originally from Duxbury, Vermont, driving the Williamsburg Contracting Richmar Flores car, racing for Make-A-Wish Foundation. The other half, the better half of Carson Hocevar. Give a big round of applause for the number 77 of Peyton Lanphier. Starting 6th tonight. Her first race ever, with wheels that is. She's raced on foot most of her life. Driving today for the Fraternal Order of Eagles. She'll be raising money for Children's Mercy, a charity that's very near and dear to her heart. Originally from Wilmar, Minnesota, and now residing in Mooresville, North Carolina, Justin Haley, her spotter tonight, the Rick Ware NASCAR Cup Series racer. Give a big round of applause. Number 51, it's Haley. Haley. And now to your top 5 starting positions for tonight's Better Half Dash. Starting in the 5th position, the Cedar Rapids, Iowa native, now residing in Sherrills Ford, North Carolina. She will be driving the Lifetime Destinations Ewing Law Group number 35. And tonight, the better half of Joey Gase races for the Meredith Haga Foundation. Give a big round of applause, your 5th place starter, the 35 of Caitlin Gase. Starting in the 4th position, we call her around here the commish because she's the commissioner of the Better Half Dash, and she'll be racing for Motor Racing Outreach as her chosen charity tonight. Originally from Indianapolis, North Carolina, now living in High Point, North Carolina, she's the better half of Bobby Labonte, a former Cup Series champion and NASCAR Hall of Famer. But tonight, all eyes are on her as she races for Motor Racing Outreach in the number 18. Big round of applause for Kristen Labonte. And now to the third starting position. In the Mellon number 42 machine, she's a mom of 2 daughters, and you saw Aspen on the grid earlier with John Hunter Nemechek. John Hunter Nemechek will be her spotter tonight, racing today for National MS Society, the number 42 and the top fundraiser in the event. Big round of applause for Taylor Nemechek. And now for the front row for the 2024 MRO Better Half Dash. No stranger to the steering wheel is the driver of the Circle number 31. Originally hailing from El Reno, Oklahoma, she'll be racing for Be the Change Scholarship with the Rowan Cabarrus Community College locally here in the area in North Carolina. Big round of applause tonight. Daniel Hemrick's better half. It's the number 31 of Kenzie Hemrick. And on the pole tonight with a blistering speed of 47.437 miles per hour. I'll tell you what, this young lady can get it done. Originally from Canton, Connecticut, now making her home in Troutman, North Carolina. In the BioStem Technologies, number 31, she'll be racing for Darby's Warrior Support. Parker Retzlaff's better half. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause. Your pole sitter, it's Ariana Jensick. And that is your starting lineup for the 11th annual Better Half Dash presented by Speedway Motorsports. Anthony Alfredo, that is a fine field of ladies full of people that have raced race cars before, and some of them, this is their first time, so there's a lot of nerves out there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of everything in this race, and as you mentioned before, we've got great spotters on the stand for all of them, coaching them through this lap. I personally have never run this short course layout. We heard Ariana mention that it was new to her. She had never experienced it either. It's basically cutting out what's traditionally the back straightaway and the carousel. So after you go through turn 2, instead of going all the way up to turn 3 and down the back stretch, you're hanging a 180-degree right-hander practically back into the infield. So shorter layout. It's going to make for some more intense racing.
I like it.
I think it's going to be good. I know it's a good view from here.
I like that short course. I'll tell you what. To me, it's like I'm a short track guy, okay? You know, it's like the difference between going from Talladega to your local bull ring right there. So I'm really excited about it. Let's toss it back down to Steve Post for pre-race festivities.
Opening ceremonies here tonight. Again, we are so glad you've joined us here at Trackhouse Motorplex, as well as joining us on our YouTube stream. Share right now. If you're watching on YouTube, share it so all your friends can join in, because we have got an exciting night of racing action. To do our opening ceremonies, we've got 3 really special guests. We're going to start off with one of the founding members of Motor Racing Outreach, winner at Darlington in the NASCAR Cup Series, and a world karting champ. Part of the board of directors for Motor Racing Outreach, Lake Speed, for our invocation. Lake.
Bow our heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you, Lord, with praise and thanks. Thank you for the beautiful weather. It couldn't be nicer, Lord. Just thank you for all these competitors and just all the people that have promoted this and helping this ministry. Father, we just ask you to bless the racing. Help them all to have a blast, a good time, and when they get finished, help them to be able to smile and shake hands with each other and just be blessed. And we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
As you remain standing, we have a very special guest here to sing our national anthem. She is the daughter of Eric and Janice Almirola. Here's Abby Almirola. Abby?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice job. You nailed it. Oh, my gosh. Abby Almirola with our national anthem. Great, great stuff down here. What we need is drivers to your cars. Once you get the drivers in the cars, spotters, we need you to the spotter stand. We've only got one more line of business to do down here, guys, and that's to get things started off. So drivers will get buckled into their carts, and then we do need you spotters up to the spotters stand. It's going to be an exciting, exciting night here at Trackhouse Motorplex, and cannot wait to see what happens here tonight in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Wow, that was absolutely awesome. Knowing the Amarola family for so long, just great people with great hearts, and seeing Abby out there singing that takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of moxie to get there in front of all these people and sing. That's a difficult song to sing. I've sang it once before, and I'll never do it again publicly.
Oh, that was perfect. You couldn't ask for much more than that. Really great way to get things started there on the grid. Ready to kick off the Better Half Dash. This is a big deal, as you mentioned, 11th annual. MRO is just such a critical part of our race weekend at the track and even at home.
What does it mean to you, though? Because people hear that all the time, and you may be listening for the first time and wondering, okay, we hear about motor racing outreach, but you could probably speak a little to the soul of what it means, because it's not just a ministry, it's a lot more.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you led me into that one, because they've just done so much for my wife, Emily, and I. First of all, Billy Malden officiated our wedding. Yes. Him and Nick Terry actually baptized me last year at Daytona Beach in the ocean. Doesn't get much better than that. But just bringing church and, the Word of God to the racetrack on the weekend. Obviously, a lot of us are away from home just about every weekend throughout the year, it seems, and to have the opportunity to learn and grow with God and share that together in our community is so important, just because we're not always able to make it to church on Sundays at home or even be with our families at all times. So for them to have been doing this for as long as they have been is just a huge testament to that whole staff, and really appreciate what they've done for the racing community, all around the country when we're out at the track.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've had similar, Lonnie Klaus back when he was with Motor Racing Outreach led me to a closer relationship, and it's a beautiful thing. So you could see that there's a testament to that down on that grid right now, whether it's Denny Hamlin down there with his family, the Burnett's, so many people that are here today with their children. It's an awesome thing, and the Better Half Dash has been going on for a while, and it's brought a lot of the ladies together, and that's what I really love about this event. Dating back to 2011, Jacqueline Butler was her name back then, but Jacqueline Reagan winning the inaugural event in 2011. Lindsay Pastrana won the second one. Ashley Stremme the third. 2014, it was Kristen Yaley, the better half of J.J. Yaley. Shannon Cook in 2015. Caitlin Sweet, Kyle Larson's wife, won it in 2016. Jennifer Anderson, now Self, won it in 17. We took a 3-year break, a little hiatus, but then Kristen Labonte and the fine folks at Motor Racing Outreach brought this back, and ever since it's been dominated by McCall Galding. 3 years in a row she has won this event, but she is not in the field tonight, so we will get a new winner for the Better Half Dash.
Yeah, she's definitely kicked butt the last 3 years, and it looks like the other racers have had the opportunity to maybe study some of the things she did to be so dominant the last few years. But as you mentioned, she stepped aside this year, and she's down there on the grid, getting ready to give the command for us. She is not going to win this one. Her streak's going to come to an end this evening just because she is not in the field, and we still have a super competitive class of karts down there with a lot of fierce drivers behind the wheel ready to get going. So we're just moments away from kicking off the green flag and seeing what these young ladies could do this evening here at Trackhouse Motorplex.
Well, Steve Post is down there doing such a great job, and this field is pretty much set. I see some last-minute people getting strapped into their cars. We have radios on these cars. So the spotters, just to explain to you if you've never watched this event, the spotters are typically the boyfriends, the husbands of these fine young ladies. And, you know, that makes for an interesting dynamic because some of them have said, man, I kind of wish it was their spotter because, you know, they got to hear their husband yipping and yapping at them a little bit. But that makes it pretty fun and really strengthens the bond between the relationship of girlfriend, boyfriend. And, you know, even something you pointed out, you know, you got girlfriend and boyfriend out there with their pole sitter, Jensick and Retzlaff, and there's a lot of sharing going on, including what they're wearing. Tell me about that.
I mean, you talk about couples that are a perfect fit. Well, Ariana's wearing Parker's fire suit, and it's about A-OK, perfect size. They must be perfectly fit for one another in that scenario, and Parker's going to be on the radio, crew chiefing and spotting for her this evening. And as you mentioned, it's going to be an interesting dynamic. We're definitely ready to see patience with one another this evening. Drivers coaching, spotting, going to have to be their eyes in the skies and let them know what we're about to have happen.
Yeah, we are just moments away from the most famous words in all of motorsports. Actually, let's send it down to my buddy Steve Post right now. He's down there at the front of the grid and having the time of his life down there. This is such a great event, Posty. I know you've been a part of a bunch of them, and we're proud to have you here with the Motor Racing Outreach Better Half Dash. You're one of the more respected broadcasters, and you've got somebody down there that's pretty special to this event to start it off.
Yes, indeed. Very, very special down here as we have McCall Smith, a 3-time champion of the Better Half Dash. She has invited Abby to stick around for this as well because Abby did such a great job on the national anthem. So to get things started off, our Grand Marshal here, Elmer.
Ladies, start your engines!
Well, the go-karts roar to life, buddy. A little different than on Saturdays and Sundays, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, we'll definitely hear those things when they come off turn 8, coming to the green flag, and stand on the loud pedal. We've got rolling starts for this race, and that's big. That's big. I mean, these go-karts are really fast, actually. I've driven these rental carts around Trackhouse Motorplex. I've never been
going a good 60 or so miles per hour.
Yeah,
at
I've
times.
never driven a rental cart this fast before other than here, and the rolling start's so big because these things might be a little slow to get going, but when you get the momentum up, they are hauling. So they're going to take the green flag, and heading down into turn 1 at full speed is going to be something special. We'll see maybe some 3-wide action, potentially some dive bombs. There's a couple opportunities at a few places on this track, but it's going to be intense, and we're getting there.
We're getting there. And folks, if you just to give you the format of the race, we have 3 segments: a 7-lap segment followed by a break, another 7-lap segment, and a short break, meaning a caution flag, that will lead into the finale, which will be the 3-lap segment brought to you by Blue Trust Sports and Entertainment here at Trackhouse. We have a pace vehicle, a pace kart, leading this field around, and will lead them to green. We're not doing the standing start, the Grand Prix type start or anything like that. Rolling starts here 2x2, and it's going to be a beautiful thing to see. GoPro Motorplex, one of the most premier go-kart facilities in America. They hold a lot of competitive events here, as well as rental karts, so you can come down here and hey, get a little experience on a rental car. They go fast. I'll tell you what, now we just see the one to go given to the field. So the next time around, Anthony Alfredo, it's go time.
Well, I like what I've seen out of the a few of these spotters and crew chiefs, and that's scrubbing tires. A few of them are getting heat, cleaning the tires off, getting those front tires heated up, and making sure they got plenty of grip when we go green here. Carts have been sitting a little while, the track's been baking in the sun. They're going to be fighting for grip a little bit. So about halfway to the green flag on this final pace lap, and they're going to let these things loose.
Man, this is going to be something else here. Coming around some of the final bends here before we start this event. Kenzie Hemrick and Ariana Jensic make up the front row. Taylor Nemechek, Kristen Labonte make up row number 2. Haley, Caitlin Gates in the next row behind it. The green flag actually happens here deep down the back straightaway, closer to turn number 1. What you see here is the field rounding what will be the final corner. And that is a very, very tough corner. And now coming down the straightaway and getting ready to pick up the green flag. Here we go. The 2024 Better Half Dash, presented by Speedway Motorsports, is green.
Side by side for the first few rows, and here we go. Short course, cutting hard right into turn 3. We already see a spinner in the back.
Oh.
Looks like 5th place got turned around there, but everyone seems to be getting single file here and getting in a rhythm.
How about Hemrick right there, jumping out to the lead from the P2 spot. And now I believe Jensic misses the corner. Drop her back to P5 for the fastest cart all day long.
Well, she's got plenty of pace, so we'll see if she can make it back to the front. Already saw a little bump and run there on lap 1. Boot, scoot, and boogie down there in turn 6, that is, coming back down the front straightaway here. There is a little bit of a draft you'll see for these drivers. They're going to be ducking their heads, trying to suck up to the cart in front and gain on them before pulling out to make a pass.
Taylor Nemechek has now hopped into the P2 spot. P3 for Kristen Labonte. Kristen Labonte in P3.
Smooth as fast. In these go-karts, you do not want to be turning the wheel too much. You definitely don't want to bind it up or be on the brakes too much either. You got to keep the momentum up, focus on not overdriving the corner, just carrying a higher minimum speed and rolling around this track. And that's what I'm seeing out of Kenzie Hemrick in front. She seems to be pulling away every time she goes into the corner, carrying a lot of roll speed and stretching that lead out.
Now, Hemrick, of course, no stranger to race cars, a former Legend Series winner, Oklahoma native, and somebody who had some incredible runs in her time in the NASCAR K&N Pro East Series. She has gapped that lead by about 6 to 7 kart lengths right now, but there is an intense battle going on right now for P5.
Intense indeed. Bumper to bumper back here in the 4th, 5th, and 6th position going down into turn 5. So that's a super sharp hairpin, part of the full course as well. One of the hardest, most technical corners on the track. And then you go into this off-camber double right where you can just hear the tires squealing through there. One thing I'm seeing is Taylor Nemechek is hanging that thing out. You could see her come down into turn 1 and just pitch that thing on the left rear and slide through the corner. It's fun to watch.
And this is Taylor Nemechek's first time ever racing anything competitively. And right now, oh wow, yeah, Jensic has now moved around Labonte. Jensic is on the charge. Jensic now is all over Nemechek. Jensic now dives to the inside, and she's contesting for P2 right now. Side by side they go.
She's going through turn 4 on the outside, and Taylor Nemechek around. She's backwards facing the field. Great avoidance back there through the grass.
She's trying to turn around right now, but I'll tell you, Labonte went for a Dukes of Hazzard-esque ride through the grass. That was incredible right there.
That did look like some Dukes of Hazzard type stuff right there in front of us, kicking the dust up.
I'm going to call her Daisy Duke for the rest of the night. That was incredible. Some stunt driving there from Kristen Labonte in that machine, and what a show these girls are putting on so far, bud.
We just had another spin in the back there for a moment in turn 6. They spun it around full 360, kept it going. Great way to get those carts straightened up, but Ariana's on the move. She's in P2, as you mentioned. Unfortunately, Taylor Nemechek got the short end of the stick on that deal. She just, they had a little bit of contact and got sideways on the inside, but Ariana's still on the move trying to reel in our leader, Hemrick.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody is watching right now is Ariana Jensick in the number 31 machine. Haley has moved into P3 with Peyton Lanfear, the ACT Tour late model racer, moving into P4. Labonte with that dirt track excursion moves back to P5. Caitlin Gase in P6. Jensick is closing in down the front straightaway right now. She's tucking that head down, trying to get some aerodynamic advantage. She has closed the gap a little bit on Kenzie Hemrick.
It's interesting to watch the different lines through turn 2. You know, we see Hemrick drive straight over that concrete curbing and use that curbing up just like we would in a NASCAR stock car on the road courses, hopping the inside tires up and gapping it, whereas Ariana's just actually turning through there and not straightening it up as much, but it seems to be working for her.
I'll tell you what, she is just chewed up that lead right now. Hemrick's going to have a cart full pretty soon. I'll tell you what, I got to meet Jensick earlier in the day, and I was excited to meet her because I'm a big fan of Stafford Motor Speedway. I work with Flow Racing, and Stafford Motor Speedway is one of our weekly racing tracks every Friday night. And her and both of her brothers, actually all three of them, run in the limited late model division at Connecticut's famed Stafford Motor Speedway. And right now she is closing in on Hemrick. Oh, this is going to be a dogfight for the lead.
Well, those laps at the track are certainly paying off. You know, you go from a heavy stock car to this rental cart here at Trackhouse Motorsports Motorplex that you can yourself come race, and you see how that experience is helping her close in on the leader, and more importantly, going to help her pull off the pass for the lead that is heating up as we speak.
Well, these drivers have spotters, so I'm assuming that Daniel Hemrick is in her ear right now saying, hey, Jensick is closing, Jensick is closing.
We got our full course caution here.
First full course caution. Don't believe that's the 7 laps. Seven lap segments. The first segment would be 7 laps. But right now, your leader, Kenzie Hemrick, Ariana Jensick in second, Haley in third, Peyton Lanfear in 4th position, Kristen Labonte, Caitlin Gase in 6th, Taylor Nemechek back to 7th position after that spin, Deanna Burnett, Jamie Lambert, Tati Pappas, Jordan Fish in the 11th position with number 11, and Marielle Swan in the 12th spot. They are slowing the cars down here, and we will see what's happening. It appears that we have our first full course caution.
Well, one thing I notice here as we take a break here and bring the carts down pit road, Hemrick clearly had some excellent short run speed, but Ariana was on the move on the long run. I know she lost some track position early there, but she definitely gained all of it back. So now that she's back up front, and we're going to go back green after this segment break, that track position is going to pay dividends. We'll see if she can get the lead early, or if Hemrick can stretch that lead out again on the short run, and she'll have to work her way back up to her bumper late in the going. But man, that was an action-packed first 7 laps. I don't think either of us realized that was the break already, because it was just intense. There was action all over the track throughout the field, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot more of that as we get later into the evening.
Well, that is the segment break number 1. We have a 3-segment race, 7 laps, and then the finale, brought to you by Blue Trust Sports and Entertainment, will be a 3-lap shootout around this beautiful GoPro Motorplex here on a gorgeous Wednesday. Kenzie Hemrick with quite a run for her in that first segment, but she had Jensick all over the backside of that cart. Kenzie Hemrick, of course, racing for Be the Change Scholarship program that's offers scholarships to Rowan Cabarrus Community College eligible students that are from that county, those 2 counties, with interest in racing, welding, and things like mechanical engineering. So a really cool thing. Of course, Daniel Hemrick, he's a Kannapolis boy, and they love taking care of the charities in this area. So there is your segment 1 finish with Kenzie Hemrick, your winner of segment 1, and Ariana Jensick. What a charge and what a recovery she did to drive all the way up to P2.
Well, we have the opportunity here to chat with some of the drivers, some of the spotters during this break, which is going to be interesting, because everyone's going to be gathering their thoughts. From personal experience, I know that that first stage or that first run of the race is just always so intense, adrenaline's amped up, you're just trying to get into a rhythm, and when that first caution comes out, kind of gathering your thoughts, thinking about the handling of your race car, thinking about things you could do better or things you see others doing. So I'm sure these spotters are communicating that information to their better halves. A couple of them got caught up in some incidents there, so they're all going to have to regroup here and refocus. They're going to have to settle their differences at the end of this race. We got a lot more racing to do, and they can certainly recover from some of those early spins.
Well, there's a lot of ferocious activity throughout the field, so let's go down to Steve Post right now, who's down there with all the ladies, and see who he has.
Down here on the grid, catching up with some of the drivers. A driver that had a mechanical issue at the beginning. Mariel Swan is down here. Mariel, you were going without radio contact. What did I hear? Your radio didn't work?
Yes, my radio didn't work last minute. I was a little freaked out, but I think we might be getting back in the game.
Doing great. Back in the game, that's for sure. You didn't have to listen. God, it would have been a blessing, right?
I know, maybe a blessing in disguise, really.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you well here in the next stage.
Thank you so much.
That is Mariel Swan. She is racing for Pit Stops for Hope, and I'm going to tell you that is one of the charities that's near and dear to me. Food insecurity is a serious issue. Pit Stops for Hope, they are Richard Childress race-based team, and this is pit crews that raise money for food banks in the Winston-Salem area. We're going to move further here. We got some driver coaching going on here. Jordan Fish is here. Denny Hamlin getting some driver coaching. Jordan, what do we need to do to get a little closer to the front here?
I need to keep up with the girl in front of me, first of all, and not spin out.
Well, spinning out's not a good thing, right?
No, not at all. I felt like I was fast until I spun out, but it is what it is. We're going forward.
That's right. See, they're all right there in front of you now, right?
Yeah, I'm going to follow them.
Oh, there we go. Absolutely. We're going to catch a word. Denny, how's your driver doing?
She's doing really good. Holding a steady wheel there. Had just one little hiccup of a corner, but other than that,
all smooth. That's Denny Hamlin, of course, driver of that Joe Gibbs Racing FedEx car. Now, I'm going to go up here toward the front because I saw something that was absolutely wild during that race, and I know you guys called it. They were running at the front of the field, and Haley, I am telling you, girl, stay on the asphalt, right?
I mean, I had no choice. I just had to keep the pedal down, basically.
The thing I was impressed, did you even lift?
No, there's no lifting.
There's no lifting on that. Beyond your off-road excursion, you're sitting here in the third spot. How good is the cart?
The cart's really good. I did have to get some dust out of my eyes from my off-road excursion, but it's pretty good. It's handling really well. I got a really good spotter right here that's been in my ear telling me what I need to fix and what I can do better, so we're ready to go. Ready to go.
Well, we wish you well. All four on the asphalt, okay?
I promise.
Well, no, if they're spinning in front of you, go to the dirt, that's for sure. That is Haley. What a ride, what an excursion that was. She went bouncing down through the infield. It scared me to death down there. Justin and her, they were just rocking and rolling with it. So a lot of the pictures down here, some of the drivers are out now getting a little bit of water, refreshment. It's a beautiful day. It's a warm day here. 7 laps down. The next stage is 7 laps. If you want to participate, you can go to Motor Racing Outreach, pick your charity if you want to support one of the ladies, or if you want to support Motor Racing Outreach, you can do that right now. We're glad you joined us here at the Motorplex, or those of you joining us here on YouTube.
Wow, that was a ride for sure. What a ride for sure. We thought it was Kristen Labonte doing the Dukes of Hazzard ride through the grass there, the dirt track excursion, but Haley, and this is her first time racing anything, and that was a heads-up move, and I love the fact that she says never lift.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could tell that move was full commit because when she saw that cart sideways, she didn't panic. She didn't jab on the brake. She just gradually turned that thing right into the grass and stayed in it and got back on track without really losing much time at all. So excited to see what she's got behind the wheel here in these next 2 segments because there's a lot of racing left. And as we saw, all these crew chiefs and spotters are debriefing with their better halves, kind of letting them know what they may have seen there on that track. I'm sure they're sharing information as to what they were experiencing out there as well. And that was super action-packed just for a short 7-lap segment there. It went by really fast, and we still got 2 more to go. We've got another segment and then the final segment. And all I can say is I'm sure all these ladies are looking with their eyes on the prize, because that trophy is probably bigger than any Cup Series trophy even this year. That thing has got to be 8 feet tall.
It's taller than me.
It is humongous. I don't even know, like, if
where do you
somebody,
put it? How do you put it? Do you need a flatbed to get it home?
I guess so. I mean, it's definitely sticking out the back of the car, the sunroof, something like that. But what an epic trophy. I know all of them want to take that home this evening for sure.
All right, here you see the pictures right now of the beautiful scenic Better Half Dash location here at Mooresville, North Carolina's GoPro Motorplex. Let's go back down to Steve Post.
I am telling you, we are having a ball here in Mooresville, North Carolina. Wish you were here with us. Those of you watching on YouTube, we got a great crowd here. They're having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. Is the commissioner, Kristen Labonte, are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Okay, so how is your number 18 cart?
My number 18 cart is fast. I was getting feedback from my spotter where I was fast, and the places I wasn't fast were my fault, not the cart's fault.
Oh, there we go. Spoken like a true spotter. There you go. Absolutely. You're such a big part of this event. What does it mean to have all these ladies, all these fans, everyone joining us on YouTube? What does it mean to have everyone support this this event so hard, wholeheartedly?
It's actually spectacular. The women that are driving tonight are a big part of NASCAR, but they never get the spotlight because we're giving our men the spotlight, right? And so tonight we've turned that around, and the women are really getting to put on the show and show how strong and smart and spectacular and talented they are. And I'm really proud of everybody that's here spotting, driving, cheering, sponsoring, all of it. It's awesome.
It is awesome. They just gave the 3-minute signal, so you got to go back to work.
I got to go.
There we go. They just gave the 3-minute signal here. The ladies are climbing aboard the race carts, and we are getting set to go here as far as we go. So, man, I'll tell you what, the energy down here, I think this next segment is 7 laps in distance. Then we get to the 3-lap shootout. This is going to be wild to see how this one plays out with some adjustments, some coaching, a lot of coaching down here, and a lot of excitement as we go into this next stage of the race.
Well, I think, Steve Post, everybody knew that you were down at Millbridge Speedway calling the action on that famed little dirt track here in North Carolina last night. And I think Haley knew that and wanted to make you feel at home by putting it in the dirt there. So good job, Haley, taking care of Postman there. So all the ladies are now getting strapped back into their carts, and we will be ready to go in a minute or two to start segment number 2, a 7-lap segment. Number 2, as well as a 3-lap shootout to follow, and it's going to be something else here. And I got to tell you what, Kristen Labonte, we were talking about Kristen Labonte before, and I got a chance to talk to her, and I got a chance to meet her sponsor, which was, you meet all the sponsors and the supporters and the people that are part of the fabric of things to make events like this happen. But this was a really cool deal because Kelly Benefits, I met them, and they were actually her sponsor when she raced cycles. She's a biker. She bicycles, and she competed. She's a triathlete. She's a 3-time U.S. national cycling champion, and her last sponsor when she was a pro cycler was Kelly Benefits, and now that's her first sponsor for the Better Half Dash.
Yeah, talk about a full circle moment. That's super cool. Kristen and Bobby are just 2 of the nicest, most wholesome people I've ever met in the sport. They've been around a long time, and when I was first coming into the industry, they were always so welcoming to me and kind enough to teach me a little bit on the track from Bobby. And Kristen's really savvy on the marketing side as well. So obviously, having her own sponsor from back in the cycling days and bringing it here to the Better Half Dash in the cart is really neat. But they're just super humble, great people. And I do love what she said, though. Let's focus on the ladies tonight, because these are the better halves of a lot of these drivers that are blessed to get a lot of exposure on race weekend and talked about a lot. But there's a support system in the girlfriends, the wives that are there every week, whether they're at the track or at home on good days or bad days, keeping you up. So we want to put all the attention on them tonight and let them have some fun, enjoy this race, and just see them have a good time.
So many drivers have competed in this event. throughout the years. This is the 11th annual one. Leading the way with the most starts ever, Melanie Self from Motor Racing Outreach, Kristen Yaley, and Wendy Venturini all have 5 better half-dash starts. Neither of them are in the field tonight, but likely either here or watching. Melanie Self, I actually driver coach spotted for her events. She was somebody that was so critical to the community center. So if you don't know MRO, part of MRO also is a community center that at the track takes care of the families that are involved in this sport, from looking after their children and giving them a safe place to go and play during the races or any time during the weekend. The community center has basically raised generations of racers. You've looked at the Baldwin boys, Tommy Baldwin's kids, or Ryan Blaney, or some of the kids, Chase Elliott. I remember seeing all of them as little tykes at MRO. And now they're grown men with families and accomplished racers. Luke Baldwin winning the King of the Modifieds. He's only 17, but he won that Smart Modified Tour event. It's amazing to see the generations of people that come through MRO, and that's why a lot of these drivers, they're here. They're not here because they have to be here. They're here because they want to be here for Motor Racing Outreach.
100%, and the community center is such a cool initiative, that I've learned more about in the last few years. And my wife, Emily, actually volunteers out on race weekend. And you mentioned the little tykes, maybe the pedal cars, whatever some of these guys grew up on. Well, what they have now is they've got iRacing setups. They've got, Logitech G wheel and pedal sets, monitors, computers. These kids are out there racing at the racetrack that, their father or might be competing at that weekend. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the better half snuck on those rigs for some laps to tune on their racing skills before this race.
Well, I'll tell you what, now I know you and I have something even more in common. I grew up going to racetracks in Connecticut. That's where you lived most of your life. Of course, you grew up also in New York. But my wife volunteered for Motor Racing Outreach. My wife Erica for several years. Just a great organization, and it's a big integral part of our family. But hey, you see it on your screen right now. And if you're here at GoPro Motorplex, the carts have re-entered the track. They will be picked up and have a rolling start. Another 7-lap segment, followed by the big finale, the big shootout. Brought to you by Blue Trust Sports and Entertainment.
The wind just picked up, too, a lot. So
you see the pace vehicle there? The pace vehicle's got their arms up.
Yep. We're coming to green. We've got the flagman here at the end of the front straightaway. And you know what's unique? This cone down here to keep them too wide before they get to turn 1. We saw that on the initial start. We're about to see it here on the restart.
Yeah.
Yes. This start, single file, though. So this is going to be interesting to see which lane they choose on their way into turn 1 and see who our big mover is.
Well, so far, it looks like the fastest car on the track has been Ariana Gen 6. She has the best lap of anybody at 47.386 seconds in segment number 1. Now the carts roll down the front straightaway. We're ready for segment number 2, and it's underway. Green flag is out.
Ariana with a big shove to Hemrick into turn 1, duck into the inside already. We got a couple cars around already in turn 1. They got it rolling and straightened up, but this battle for the lead's heating up into turn 4.
This is going to be good as they round turn 4, and this is my favorite part of the track. Coming up to turn 5, and now they're side by side into the tight hairpin of turn 5.
Power move around the outside by Hemrick to defend that position. Ariana actually looks like to be losing a spot.
Yes,
she's under pressure
Haley.
here, side by side with Haley. Haley through turn 6. She's going to get the better end of the deal. They're going to get back single file here and make another run at it.
Stick on that battle for third.
All this battling for second and third is allowing our leader, Kenzie Hemrick, to drive away a little bit. She's got a buffer. She's got a cushion, but here we come down the front straightaway with that draft. Ariana's hot on her heels.
Ariana now back into the P2 spot. Peyton Lanfear was the woman on the charge there. And now here comes the battle for the lead. Gen 6 to the bottom. Daylight, but no, closing the doors, Hemrick. Now we shoot down to the left-hand hairpin, known here on this short course as turn number 5.
I love what I'm seeing out of Hemrick defending the lead. Instead of throwing big blocks or putting herself in a position to get hit in the corner of the bumper entering the corner. She's just giving up the bottom and carrying her momentum around the outside. It seems to be working, but Ariana's making another run at it into the final corner here.
Big move by Jensick to the bottom. Give Jensick the lead over Hemrick coming out of the final corner.
We'll see how fast she could drive away here because she's had the best pace throughout the weekend, and now that she's got clean air, I think she's going to be able to stretch it out a little bit. But Hemrick's right on her bumper, but she's under pressure as well here, side by side going into turn 4.
Lanfear now making the move on the outside of Hemrick. Now she files in behind as Haley is all over the rear bumper of her as well. Jensick in your lead, reaching over. Is she grabbing the? Is there a deal where you can grab the throttle and get a little more horsepower? I don't know.
That might be under review by the officials.
But a hot battle going on for second and third right now. That is what everybody is watching in the field as we speak. Second, third, fourth, hotly contested right now. Kenzie Hemrick in P2. Lanfear, the ACT late model racer, in third position. Haley in the fourth spot. You could throw a blanket over second, third, and fourth. Right now, they're side by side.
Well, one of the coolest parts about this track is how racy it is. I mean, you get to the inside of a driver, and all of a sudden you're on the outside for the next corner, and it seems to be like that everywhere. So you've got to get that pass done quickly and efficiently so you don't put yourself in a bad position. You want to be in the preferred lane to be able to complete the pass and ultimately drive away, just like we see Ariana doing, just stretching this lead out a lot, but it is a super tight battle for third right now, as you can see.
I am so impressed with Haley. Absolutely impressed. Her first time competing here, of course, as we look at the leader, but now you see the gaggle of cars coming right behind him. 3 cars headed into turn number 1. Who will come out on top? Haley with a bold move.
They're leaning on each other hard right here, and they're coming out of turn 3. Single file once again. Turn 1 seems to be where they could set up a really big run and a dive bomb, but they kind of settle down in this infield portion of the track. So bumper to bumper right here, hitting their marks, and I just think they keep trying to set each other up for that final corner of turn 8 before this long front straightaway.
Lanfear with the bold move. Haley filled the hole there and got into the third position, moving Hemrick back to P4. What a battle that was here at GoPro Motorplex.
Peyton Lanfear is on the move, though.
She sure
is. She is chipping away at that lead here and has just been very impressive here since the start of this second segment. And if we have all this action now, I can only imagine what we're going to see in that final shorter segment.
Look at this battle right now. There's Lanfear. She's got a little bit of pink on the front of her car. Right behind her is Haley. Actually, Haley looks to have possibly got around, but there is Hemrick right there. Excuse me, Jensick right there, your leader.
Hemrick's just
Lanfear.
Lost a little bit of pace here back in traffic. She got put on the outside when Ariana passed her for the lead and then didn't have the preferred lane in turns 1 and 2, so lost another position. She's back in her rhythm, but she lost some track position. We're coming into the second stage break here as we see the yellow flags are out, so that'll allow everyone to regroup and make another run at it.
Haley is the one with the pink. I thought it was her making that move, that bold move, and she swallowed up 2 spots to finish second. And boy, oh boy, she is passing somebody that's a very accomplished race car driver in Kenzie Hemrick, but also in Lanfear, who is very known for her late model racing in the ACT Tour up in New England, and that is not a slouch division up there.
No, I mean, she is sandwiched between 2 stock car racing drivers, literally. So she's already done a phenomenal job throughout this race. And, this break, as we mentioned last time, we could already see how clearly a couple of these drivers were able to regroup, regain their composure, maybe talk through that first segment with their crew chiefs, their spotters, their better halves, and they're going to have the opportunity to do that again before this intense final stage. That's how many laps? 3 laps? I mean, that's going to be full bore, leaning on one another. We've already seen that, but I think this is for all the marbles here. So this isn't just about seeing what they could do for these 3 laps. They're going to be talking about take no prisoners. We've already heard Haley say she's not lifting for anything.
Yeah, Haley certainly did not lift there, and we learned that she was just more than words right there. But Haley, unbelievable charge by her. in that car. Haley, number 51 car, racing for Children's Mercy. Something about Haley that I found interesting, not just her name. We all talk about that it's Haley. You know, used to be Haley Mottinger, but she also ran D1 track at South Dakota State University. Racing over hurdles was her favorite, so she climbed some hurdles today. And I will say this is not her first race. This is her first race with a steering wheel and wheels. This girl can race just usually on her feet. They're both racers.
Well, better her than me. I'm way faster in the seat behind a steering wheel than on my feet, but maybe there's something to that. Maybe she's got that adrenaline junkie in her, right? She's a competitor at heart, and we're just seeing that. All I can say is, how would you like to have someone that says they're not going to lift on your rear bumper for the restart in the final segment? I mean, this is going to be interesting. Ariana's going to have her hands full. She's not going to have a rear view mirror, but she's going to be tilting her head back, trying to see where the runs are coming from and what she needs to do to defend if she can't get away. But we've just got such an incredible battle here for second, third, and fourth. All of them are just leaning on one another, and depending on how that plays out, it could allow the leader to get ahead, or if we see a bump and run like we saw in that first stage, it might bottle things up and provide the opportunity for someone else to sneak through and regain some track position.
I'll tell you what, big mover in that race was Jordan Fish. Big mover in that race was Jordan Fish. Jordan Fish up to the 7th position, but I think Kenzie Hemrick has had the most entertaining first two segments. Let's go down to Steve Post right now, who's down there with all the ladies.
Business is picking up. Things are getting intense. What a stage of the race that was. A lot of action, a lot of excitement, and a lot of fun. That is for sure. Having a ball here. We're going to catch up with Kenzie Hemrick down here. Kenzie, I saw a lot of hand motions there to your spotter. What is going on with the race car?
I don't know. It's got super tight that last run. They think maybe I had a flat left front, so we're going to add a little air maybe. It was evil hopping, so never experienced something like that in one of these carts. But we're out here having a blast. I'm glad that we had Circle come on board, and we're out here raising money for a good cause. We love MRO at the racetrack. It's like having a second family. It takes a village raising these kids at the racetrack, and they're part of our village.
All right, so before you had possibly the tire going down, how good was the cart? Can you get back up here now and challenge for the win?
It was pretty good. I'm hoping to get a top 3. I've been out of the seat for many years now, so we just come out here to have fun and raise money for MRO, so we'll see.
It's like riding a bike. I called a lot of Kenzie's racing over at the summer shootout, and she's got the rhythm back down. She's in the 4th spot. We're going to catch Peyton Lamphere now. Peyton Lamphere, she is Carson Hocevar. I get my sprint cars and NASCAR drivers all. So Peyton Lamphere, catch up with Peyton. Peyton, how good is your cart now as you sit in the 3rd spot?
It's definitely come in since qualifying and practice. I was a little frustrated. I was like, man, my cart's so slow. But now I think when the sun's going down, the temps are cooling, it's a lot better.
Pretty intense racing out there. How kind of describe the racing there as you guys were battling for that 2nd spot?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some fast cars. I think if we just, kind of lay back and, let it all work out, we'll be fine.
Absolutely. Any similarities? You've raced in the ACT Tour up in the Northeast. Any similarities other than just competing side by side with other racers?
I mean, I raced oval, not road courses, so it's a little different, but it's definitely helped being a late model driver and bringing it here.
No doubt about it. That's Peyton Lamphere and Carson Hocevar down here, pointing her in the way here as far as the spotting goes, but she don't need much help. She is a great racer. The ACT Tour up in the New England states, some great super late model racing. They put on a show wherever they go, and Peyton Lamphere putting on a show here today in Mooresville.
Man, we were just joking up here, wondering what Hocevar is telling her. Carson is a very aggressive race car driver. We've seen that early on in his NASCAR career, but he is fearless, okay? This is a guy that has won the Winchester 400, a track that is feared and revered by everybody in motorsports, and the kid has shown that he has moxie. And I'm wondering if he's kind of translating that a little bit to Peyton.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And this is a position that she's in where this could be a checkers or wreckers type situation. I mean, a 3-lap shootout. You don't have much time to settle in or think about what move you're going to make. They're going to go green and be aggressive out of the gate. If I know Carson, he's not afraid to lay the bumper to someone, so I'm sure he's telling her the same.
Well, I'll tell you what, turn number 1 and turn number 5, the big hairpin, will be what everybody is looking at the start of this right here. So Steve Post has done a wonderful job down there. And let's see, does Steve have anybody down there? Well, we'll get back to Steve Post here in a second as we look at beautiful wind blowing here, the American flag. One more segment to go, the Better Half Dash. And of course, our sponsors, we have to thank them. Speedway Motorsports, Synergy Face and Body, Blue Trust Sports and Entertainment, as well as Trackhouse Motorplex, and all the great food trucks that are here. Some beautiful cars on display in the midway in front of this great facility, and so many fans showing up to watch the Better Half Dash.
Absolutely. We'll pass it down to Steve. I think he's got someone ready for an interview.
Yes, indeed, having a ball here. When we get done, those of you joining us here, the food trucks, we've got a concert. Oh, the fun is just going to continue on all night long here in Mooresville, North Carolina, but we have got a shootout at the front of the field. We talked to Haley in the last break. She kept it on the asphalt and drove up to second spot. Describe what you needed to do that move to get up to second, Haley.
It was just a lot of adrenaline. I had him in my ear trying to help me set up how to pass on exit, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's worked so far.
It is working really, really well. Do you have anything up here for our race leader?
I hope so. You know, she's pretty fast, but we hope that we can give her a shot.
I'll give her a shot might be the answer right there. Yeah, might be the answer. A 3-lap shootout. Let's catch up with our race leader, Ariana Jensic, down here. Ariana, you were able to get finally to the lead. How good is your cart at this point?
I feel like it's pretty good. We came up with a plan on how we're going to do this restart. I feel like in that first stage, we obviously got moved, but I feel like we rebounded pretty well. Hopefully these last 3 laps are nice and clean and everyone can respect each other.
Oh boy, said from the leader's perspective, do good.
Thank you.
There we go. That is Ariana Jensic. I'm going to get Billy Malden over here as well. Billy is the president and lead chaplain here for Motor Racing Outreach. Billy, your thoughts, your emotions as you watch this event unfold.
You know, it's been an absolute joy to watch these ladies get out here and do this. We've watched them practice day after day for the weeks leading up to this, and now they get to finally come out here and show this great crowd what they can do. And they don't often get to be seen in this capacity, but they're phenomenal racers. So I'm excited that the folks that are here, those that are watching on YouTube and our website, are able to see the incredible skills and talents. So we're really grateful to all of them, those of us at Motor Racing Outreach.
We just talked to Kenzie, and she was just talking about the old phrase, it takes a village, and what MRO does for families at the racetrack. Pretty neat to build relationships with such special people, whether it's the ladies here or really people in the NASCAR garage and community.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know, but Motor Racing Outreach has been in NASCAR 35 years, which is longer than a lot of other entities. And when you look at the Community Center program, which is what we do that really cares for the families at the track, that's 30 years. So we have kids that come to us now on race day that are kids of the kids that we took care of years ago, 2nd and 3rd generation racers. So MRO is grateful for the, I guess the best word to put it is for the trust that we receive from the racing community. 35 years.
We're almost to, you can start to breathe now and enjoy this final 3 laps.
These last 3 laps, I think, have got a lot of excitement in them. I know this is going to be a single file restart, but these girls, so hold tight and watch what they do.
There we go. That's Billy Malden. He is the president and lead chaplain for Motor Racing Outreach. And the drivers are climbing back aboard the race cars. Kids are running by. Everybody is excited. Hope you're excited watching this. Hope you're excited here on the property, because we are in for a wild finish here of the Better Half Dash.
I'll tell you what, I love having Steve Post down there. He has become not just a very known and trusted voice on Motor Racing Network, MRN, but growing up here and bringing my children and my nieces to racetracks around this region, when I hear Posty get excited down there, it makes me want to do the chicken dance. because we all know he leads some of the best chicken dances at the summer shootout at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which fires up very soon on Tuesday nights. So make sure you get your families down there as well. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Tuesday nights, and I take a lot of heat for talking about Little Donuts. But folks, if you're here on the grounds and you have not tried Zach Taylor's Little Donuts back there, you are missing something. Cinnamon sugar is my favorite, or maple glaze. But they put back into the racing sphere at Bowman Gray, sponsoring cars as well. Proud to have them, Kona Ice, so many others back there. And of course, Yellow the Band will be playing after Victory Lane for the Better Half Dash today. So we are set for a shootout that you maybe go get some popcorn, but don't go far, because this is going to be a absolute slugfest here the last 3 laps.
You're telling me 3 laps here on the short course at Trackhouse Motorplex. This is for all the marbles. This is what it all comes down to. You know, they've tried to get their track position, get a feel for the track, their karts, and put themselves in position for this final restart. 3 laps is going to go by really quick. It's a single file restart, so I'm most curious to see, is there aggression turn 1, lap 1, or throughout that first lap, or are they going to try to settle in and make a run for it at the end? Because I know for sure from experience, if you're going to lay the bumper to someone, you want to do it at the literal last second possible to make sure that they can't get back to you, because they can easily return the favor here. There's plenty of opportunities. You mentioned that turn 5.
Yes.
That's, believe it or not, probably the heaviest braking zone.
Yes.
Even though the front straightaway's longer and faster, it's a sweeping turn 1. So turn 5 is where we're going to see the dive bombs. Turn 1, maybe, but that infield portion of this short course is going to heat up.
Well, I think too, because the start-finish line, the race starts closer down towards turn 1. That might not be the hot spot at the start, but one thing I wanted to talk about tonight is already before this race started, we have raised over $25,000 for motor racing outreach and all the related charities. So big round of applause to all these ladies, all the families, all that are in attendance today, because you're not only being entertained by a fine auto race here in a beautiful day in North Carolina, but you are raising money for incredible causes, the incredible causes of these drivers, and of course, motor racing outreach and all the charities that they are affiliated with.
Absolutely, and you can donate at motorracingoutreach.com to be a part of this. Already raised a lot of money, as you mentioned, and man, we're stacking the field up. We're getting ready to go green for the final 3 laps of the Better Half Dash.
Well, as my friend Steve Post would say, this could be a schlobberknockle. Yes, it could be. Let's get ready. The ladies are pulling their belts tight. Coming down the front stretch, the pace car will dip off, awaiting the green flag for the final segment. Green flag is out.
Full lock bumpers throughout the top 6. I mean, they are pushing and shoving already. Looks like Ariana got shoved out just a little bit by Haley. Haley there in turn 1, and Haley's even under threat from Peyton there. She gives a shot to the rear bumper of Ariana. Man, this is just getting intense.
The battle is now on for the second position, as Ariana stretches that lead. Now coming for the second position, side by side they go. Haley gonna lose some ground. Here comes Peyton Lanfear.
She's got to get away from these 2 battling for third behind her so that she can make a run at Ariana. She's got a big lead to chip away at if she wants to get there, but if she can close in these final 2 laps, she'll be able to have a shot at it.
Unbelievable racing here, a 3-lap shootout.
Certainly looks like Peyton was able to stretch it out over Haley there. She got the pass done for second with a little bit of a bump and run in turn 5, kind of shoved Haley a little bit wide on the exit, and now she's running down our leader. Hemrick back in the fight. P4, hot on the heels of Haley, ready to make a move. Man, we're half a lap through, coming to the white flag already. This is
quick.
The shortest segment ever. You see the intensity ramping up. Hemrick trying to make a pass
on the bottom. Hemrick on the bottom, looking to the inside of Haley. All these girls, they don't just want to win. They want to be on that victory podium afterwards, right before our concert. White flag coming out one more time around for Jensic.
She's got quite the comfortable lead here. She just needs to hit her marks and bring this thing home. We've got Peyton Lanfer in second. She's got plenty of plenty of track position over third as well, and she's trying to run down the leader, but I don't know if she's going to get there.
Well, Hemrick with a sneaky move there through the first and second turn, move her up into a P3 spot. Right now, Hemrick in third, Peyton Lanfear, but your leader is Jensick. Coming around the final few corners of this racetrack, the better half dash, a tradition since 2011. These ladies putting on a show for you, and now coming out of the final corner to win the 11th annual Better Half Dash, it's Ariana Jensick.
What a performance by her. I mean, she just had incredible pace all weekend long, and we've got Peyton Lanfear in second place and a sneaky third for Haley. I saw that. She bumped Kenzie Hemrick out of the way in turn 5 on the last lap, moved her on corner entry, got her wide on the exit.
That's a racer.
Came out with a podium. I mean, talk about a racer, a competitor at heart, first time in a kart. I can only imagine what Justin was telling her on the radio during that final lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, tip of a cap right there to a first-time racer in Haley finishing in the third position. Peyton Lanfear finishing second. Let's give you the finishing order right here. Jensick, Lanfear, Haley, top 3. Hemrick, 4th. Jamie Lambert all the way up to 5th position. What a drive for Jamie Lambert. Kristen Labonte in 6th and 7th. Taylor Nemechek, your top fundraiser. Caitlin Gase finishes in 8th. Tati Pappas in 9th. 10th will be Deanna Burnett. 11th, the number 11 of Jordan Fish. And 12th, Mario Swan. So what a run, and I'll tell you what, the pride of Stafford Motor Speedway. Jackaroots famed Stafford Motor Speedway put it to the top today. Score 1 for Team Connecticut and Ariana Jensick.
Huge congratulations to her and that group there. I know Parker was doing a great job on the radio for her as well. And racer at heart, as you mentioned. She comes from a background racing stock cars. Her and her 2 brothers are racing Friday night at Stafford, and she's running a partial schedule there. We see her at the track sometimes supporting Parker in his NASCAR Xfinity Series efforts. Peyton with a strong P2. Those are 2 late model racers up at the front of the field. Haley, first-time racer. Obviously, Kenzie Hemrick, a longtime racer and competitor as well. So super awesome battle at the front of the field. And we had some big movers. Kristen Labonte making her way through the field. Let's give it up for Mariel Swan because she had some technical difficulties throughout the weekend. And we're just going to send it down to pit road to get an interview here with our winner.
All right, down here we have got our winner, Ariana Jensick. Congratulations. You had a clean start there. Kind of describe the last 3 laps.
Yeah, Parker was just telling me the entire time, just run your best 3 laps that you ever run here. Honestly, so speechless. I'm just so proud to represent BioStem Technologies. So proud to bring the $10,000 to Darby's Warrior Support. I mean, that means so much. I would not be able to do this without Parker and all the pep talks that he was giving me in between the stages, but I'm really, really thankful for this opportunity. A huge thank you to MRO. They do so much for us. Again, just thank you to everyone.
Really, really cool. Where's Parker at? Let's get him over here. Parker, get over here. I want to talk to you as well. Parker Retzloff was the spotter on this one. Parker, jump in here real good. She did good. Kind of describe what a good race car driver she is.
Yeah, I mean, she did great. I will say this is more stressful than my racing. My stomach has been a knot since we started this race, but I'm happy that we, finally won one since we ran so good last year, and hopefully we'll come back next year and do it again.
Well, we'll see what happens with it. We wish you well. Congratulations. We wish you well at Stafford tomorrow. What is tomorrow night? Friday night. We wish you well up there as well.
Hopefully I can get it done there too. Thank you.
There we go. That is our race winner, Ariana Jensick. She picks up the win. And she's going to Stafford to race on Friday night. You can catch that on Flow Racing. She'll be up there. So she is doing a good job. We're going to catch up with our second place finisher, Peyton Lanfear. Second place run here. Carson Hocevar, the better half. Peyton, jump in here. Second place run. Kind of describe the last few laps and what you tried to do to get the win and how you finished in the second spot.
Yeah, I just wish we qualified a little bit better. I think we would have had a better chance, and by the time we got up to her, she was just gone. And if there was a few more laps, maybe I could have caught to her, but overall, I the cart wasn't the best in practice, and it came in at the end. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm happy I at least finished on the podium.
Did you have fun too?
I did, yes.
There we go. That is Peyton Lamphere, the better half to Carson Hocevar. She finishes in the second spot. Man, I'm telling you what, this girl was a human highlight film. We talked to her about off-road racing in stage 1. She punted a barrier down here in turn number 4. Thought I was going to set it up into the cheap seats down here. Haley, third place run. First off, coming out from turn number 4, that barrier, you never lifted there either.
It wasn't supposed to be there. I don't know. I didn't put it there, but I did send it away on accident. I am sorry for that. But yeah, Justin was in my ear and he said, "What are you doing?" I said it was an accident. But yeah, P3, good finish. Happy with it.
And you had fun.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun, that's for sure. That is Haley wrapping up our podium finishers down here. A great night of racing here in Mooresville. Those of you here at the event, we still have a concert. We still have all the food trucks out there, all kinds of fun. We're going to have more presentations out on the stage, so you can join us out there. We really appreciate it. And all of those of you joining us here on YouTube, we're grateful you spent some time here on Wednesday night with us. I'm Steve Post. I think that wraps it up from this perspective down here. I know, guys, you got a lot more up there in the booth to cover before we get out of here tonight.
Well, we certainly have big shoes to fill with the postman down on pit road. Appreciate you, Steve. And, man, Parker's got to watch out. His girlfriend's already got his fire suit on. With that trophy and the victory tonight, she might be trying to climb in that Funkaway Chevrolet Camaro on Saturday in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. But really great effort by everyone this evening. What an awesome event. And just want to shout out her charity. You know, she mentioned raising money for Darby's Warrior Support, and that's an Arkansas nonprofit that does something really cool. You know, they support special operations, soldiers, and veterans through fellowship, you know, retreats, outdoor activities, and for her to pick that as her charity was really special.
Yeah, that's awesome. And of course, shouting out Motor Racing Outreach. But you know, these ladies come here and they race for their charities, and they get that $10,000 check that they can present to their charities. That's such a special thing to be able to do. Motor Racing Outreach, you know, loves to extend out to other charities. But a big thanks to everybody on board tonight. And what a finish, what a race that we had here today. Folks, if you're here on the grounds, do not leave. We've got the trophy presentation coming up. And we also have Yellow, the band, will be playing for you. And boy, oh boy, that was one heck of a race. I'll tell you what, Haley impressed me the most, even though she finished third, for not have raced before. That girl is a racer. We need to get her behind the wheel of something and get her behind the wheel of something fast.
Yeah, she did an incredible job. She was definitely our what are we? MVR, most valuable racer this evening?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd say she was the big surprise.
I mean, yeah,
the big surprise.
That was a big accomplishment to come here and finish on the podium. And she just learned a valuable lesson in racing, right? Rubbing is racing.
Yes.
They had a little last lap tangle there, and it sounded like Justin called her out for it. We said it was going to be interesting on the radios. I think next year we're going to need a little bit of radioactive from this event. But,
I think so.
Can't say enough about Motor Racing Outreach and all of our sponsors that help put this event on here at Trackhouse Motorplex. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the racing. We had a lot of fans come out, and we know a lot of you are tuning in at home, so thank you for that.
Big shout out also to Jamie Lambert and her impressive run up to the 5th position. All the ladies here, from Mariel Swan to Jordan Fish. I got the spot for her in practice because Denny wasn't here yet, so that was great. An old friend of mine, Jordan Fish, Deanna Burnett, Tati Pappas, Caitlin Gase, Taylor Nemechek, Kristen Labonte, Jamie Lambert, Kenzie Hemrick, Haley, Peyton Lamphere, and of course, your winner today of the 11th annual Better Half Dash, Ariana Jensick. All the ladies showing up today and putting on a show, the true heroes of the day. I'm Matthew Dillner. I appreciate you all tuning in live, and everybody for being here today. Of course, Anthony Alfredo, where are you up to next, buddy, racing?
Well, we're headed to Portland International Raceway tomorrow morning, actually.
Wow.
Really excited to get back there. Got the pole when the NASCAR Xfinity Series returned there 2 years ago.
Yep.
Looking forward to improve on that this time around. But I know I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if it weren't for my better half. So Emily's down there volunteering, helping out with the event this evening. And she's my support system, just like all these other amazing women that compete in tonight's race. So shout out to all of them.
Well, whoever you are, if you're here today as a fan, if you are watching this on TV, look over to your better half and make sure you love them and show them the appreciation that they deserve. For Motor Racing Outreach, for Speedway Motorsports, Synergy Face and Body, Blue Trust Sports and Entertainment, who brought us that amazing last dash of 3 laps there that was so entertaining for everybody here at at Trackhouse Motorplex. On behalf of Motor Racing Outreach, I'm Matthew Dillner, and until next time, we'll see you at the races.